Now, I've done videos like this before. In fact, about 2 weeks ago, I released a video where I compared Durango to all the other, or a lot of other mountain towns in Colorado. So instead of talking about the exact same things that I did in that video, we are going to address a few things such as weather and outdoor activities. But in this video, we're going to talk a lot more about what the community is like, all the things to do. We're going to talk about all the different kind of restaurants, what kind of food they offer, and just all of the different things that the city of Durango offers. And maybe that'll give you some comparison to other areas you're looking at, and that'll just give you an understanding of, although we're a small mountain town, we do have a lot of different things to do, and the city does offer just a lot of different things and a lot of different options and amenities. Let's jump into it. All right, to start, we're gonna actually just start walking around downtown, telling you about the different restaurants, telling you about the different stores downtown. And so we'll actually start with the Strater Hotel, which is right behind me here. This is where the majority of my clients like to stay when they come into town. Really kind of that old historic feel. I will say, if you really want peace and quiet, you are downtown. So of course, there is gonna be noise that comes with staying downtown. They've got some good food. They've got several different restaurants and some really great live music as well. My wife and I love coming here for the live music in particular. Now, a few more things about them just to get into specifics. They've been open since 1887. They have 3 popular restaurants: Mahogany Grill, Diamond Bell Saloon, and the Office Spiritorium, and really different, unique settings, kind of like I was mentioning a minute ago. They've got elegant dinners, they've got Victorian era furnishings. All right, and I'll tell you a little bit about their menu. So land and sea, they've got filet mignon lobster tail served with vegetable of the day. They've also got bacon wrapped shrimp, really good carrot cake as well. And again, like I was saying, my favorite reason for coming in here is gonna be the live music. Now, the next spot's gonna be Jean Pierre, really good cafe, bakery, and wine bar. Love coming here for the pastries. Again, sorry about the noise behind me, but really cool spot over here on the corner. Then you got Sizzling Siam right here behind me. Really good pad thai. And I will warn you, don't ask for their extra spicy. My dad and I did that a while back when we were actually visiting Durango, and man, it is super spicy, but very, very good food. Recommend checking that out. Really, really small restaurant, so don't plan on necessarily sitting down. Most people are gonna take that to go, but there are a few chairs in there as well. And you've got Perbacco right here, an Italian restaurant over here by the train depot. I really like them. I went here with my wife just a few weeks ago, and just got the traditional spaghetti. My wife got some lasagna, and I highly recommend them. Again, they're over here by the train depot. They've got an indoor and outdoor seating area, very good service, really cool new restaurant that is in Durango. There are some other Italian restaurants that are worth checking out as well, but they do a great job. Then the train. Now, you guys probably already know about the train. If you don't, definitely look into it. It is something Durango is really well known for. A few other things you might not know. They have a free museum that's really cool as well. Then they also allow you to bring your kids here to watch the train, actually enter through here, watch the train leave in the morning. So if your kids love trains, that's something that we have done with our kids. They absolutely love it. So that's another option. Then they've got the Polar Express that is in the winter, something you might not be aware of if you're not from here. That's something that's really fun based on the movie. They have it themed after the movie and have a whole ride dedicated to that for the kids. Much shorter ride as well. Now, Four Leaves Winery right behind me here. Really good option if you want to get a really good glass of wine, from a good glass of local wine, I should say, from the Four Corners area. Definitely come by here. Now, Nini's Taqueria is right here behind me. Really cool spot for just getting a casual lunch or dinner. I really like getting the quesadilla. They've got some great options. They make their own salsas. They've got margaritas, they've got beer, and just again, a really nice casual, well-priced spot for Mexican food. All right, then you've got Esoterra Cider Works, local cidery here in Durango. We're stopping in, really cool environment. I've been there for an investor meetup, really fun spot. They've got some good cheese charcuterie platters as well. Then if you guys like crepes, the best crepes in town are right here at Michael's Corner. Definitely check this spot out. Limited hours. So I'll turn around, show you. We're right on the corner here. Corner of the street here, right in front of Cold Stone Creamery. And I'll just read the sign here. He'll be closed till April when he reopens. So he reopens in the spring and summer. So keep in mind, he's closed for the winter. Obviously it's a colder spot to get food, but great spot, worth the wait, and worth coming over here in the spring when he's open. Now, our toy store in town, one of a few toy stores, Twilight Toys. My sons, my 2- and 3-year-old, would definitely give a raving review for this spot. They just got to come over here a couple weekends ago and pick out a few toys. So definitely recommend checking that out if you've got kids. Now, Father-Daughter's Pizza is right behind me. I might get some flack for this because everybody loves their pizza and has their strong opinions on the best pizza spot, but I'm gonna give them my review for calzones. I'm gonna say their calzone is the best in town. Definitely check them out if you like calzones. Their pizza's great too, but I love their calzones the most. And so if you like pizza, check them out. We've got a few other options in town, but they are really one of 2 pizza spots that are right downtown, downtown Durango. Then Fuzzy-Wig's Candy Shop right behind me, another favorite of my kids, although we don't let them go there very often. And then right behind me as well is Old Barrel Coffee Company. They did recently move to this location right here, right across from the Strader Hotel. You see the Strader Hotel right behind me. And right over here, Old Barrel Coffee Company. Highly recommend coming in there if you like a good cup of coffee, or a cup of tea rather. And so that is one of my wife's favorite spots to come in. And again, they're over here on the corner, right across from the Strader Hotel. Let's talk about housing options in this downtown area. I'll just briefly go over this and let you know that right above me here, there's a deck. You can kind of see that railing right there. That is to a condo that is about, I want to say over 2,000 square feet. Really nicely done, high-end appliances, nice flooring, nice paint, very well done. You can barely hear the noise from outside. Really nice double pane windows, just so you have an idea of road noise, because that is a concern of a lot of my clients. And they have very secure building as well, in my opinion. And that was a concern of my clients as well. I recently showed this property to several different clients, or these units in here, and it didn't quite work for them because of the stairs. But I just want to take this moment to say there are some great options downtown if you really want to be right downtown. There are several other condo options, and if you're considering something or looking for something where you can short-term rent it, there is a property down the road that allows 7-day minimum on Airbnb short-term rentals as well, where in the majority of, or all of downtown Durango and in-town Durango, there are only a couple other townhome or condo associations that allow you to do that without getting on this mile-long waiting list. So keep that in mind if you're looking for short-term rentals. There are a few options here. Just reach out to me. We'll throw the number below. And if you're just looking for housing in general within walking distance, there are a lot of great options. You've also got the river trail running right through, or somewhat right through, kind of the side of downtown Durango. You've got biking trails all around you. If you haven't heard me talk about this in the past, amazing access to biking trails from right here in town Durango. So let's continue on with the tour of downtown. All right, the next spot is one of my absolute favorites, which is Grassburger. They've got 2 locations here in Durango, and then they've also got a location down in Albuquerque, New Mexico, off of Montgomery, which is actually where we moved from Albuquerque. Grassburger has 100% grass-fed U.S. raised beef. They've also got turkey or house-made vegan black bean burgers. They've got some really good sweet potato fries, and normally I just do a double burger, get a lot of meat on there. They've also got some dairy-free and gluten-free options. And dive into a little bit of their menu. They've got a green chili jack burger. This is the burger I normally order. It's got New Mexico green chili, melted pepper jack, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion. In a contest called Best of Durango, they were ranked 1st place for best fries and 2nd place for the best burger. And again, these guys are right downtown. Really, really good burgers. Definitely worth putting this on your list if you like a good burger. The other place I'll talk about briefly is James Ranch. James Ranch actually ranked number 1 in that contest for burgers, and they are very much a different menu, if you will. A little bit pricier, really cool location up in the Animus Valley, past Hermosa, on the way up towards Purgatory Ski Resort. Amazing views, really cool area, and those guys have some really big burgers, grass-fed on their property as well. So definitely worth checking James Ranch out. All right, a few more things I wanted to tell you about James Ranch. Just pulled up my notes. They're about 10 miles north of Durango, about a 15-minute drive from downtown Durango, and they focus on sustainable organic meat, cheese, eggs, and produce through practicing regenerative agriculture. So from time to time, James Ranch hosts special events. They'll do weekly concerts from May through September. They've also got a flower garden that you can buy flowers from them. James Ranch also hosts something really cool called weekly gather dinners. So from mid-October through March, they host gather dinners on Tuesdays from 5:30 to 7:30, and they only have 50 reservations available, and they do fill up. So this is definitely worth checking out. So guests are treated to a 4-course meal, prefix menu prepared by James Ranch Grill. So it highlights ingredients from local purveyors fare, which includes an appetizer, a choice of a super salad, an entree, and a dessert. And then guys, the meal is accompanied by a special presentation from the purveyor, whether it's a small bakery, farm, or local orchard. So definitely worth checking them out. I had clients recently just really highly recommend them, and so just wanted to bring that recommendation to you guys as well. So James Ranch doesn't just do some amazing burgers, amazing meals, they also do those special dinners. But just past Grassburger, we've got two really good coffee shops. You've got Durango Coffee Company and Hermosa Cafe. So I really like both of them for different reasons. They both have some good options for food. I would say Hermosa Cafe is a great spot if you want to grab some coffee and do some work for say 3 or 4 hours. They've got a really good assortment of tables. They've got also a great area to just hang out and play games and just hang out in general. And then if you wanted to hang out there in the morning and then go and grab some lunch, you can just walk right over to Grassburger. So again, this is just kind of me giving you my personal take on the coffee shops and just what I love about them. So that's kind of my favorite reasons for going to Hermosa Cafe. And then Durango Coffee Company is just a really cool environment, cool atmosphere. They've got some really cool artwork on the walls, really nice furniture throughout, and just a cool spot to hang out, especially if it's kind of your first time in the town and you want to check out just a cool coffee shop. They've got some really good outdoor stores. So right over my shoulder is Garden Shorts Outdoor, and then they have another store across the street and just down the road a little ways. That's their other Garden Shorts that is more for hunting. They've got guns, they've got more outdoor hunting and camping type equipment there. And then just one block up on the other side is inside of the mall is the Pine Needle as well. Then just down the road and across the street in the mall is another store called the Pine Needle. The Pine Needle is a really good outdoor store as well. They have ski rentals, they have skis, snowboards. They've got a lot of great clothing as well, some good gloves, and definitely worth checking them out. What we just did is I just bought my wife a jacket, and so she was going in and trying on all different jackets in all of these different stores. So I really would say, although we are a small town compared to other towns like Denver, we do have a really good assortment of stores for outdoor clothing like down jackets, Gore-Tex jackets, things like that. All right, then Animus Chocolate Company is right behind me. Really great spot to stop in if you just want some really, really good hot chocolate. And they have handmade fudge as well, and just a really cool environment. A lot of these retail spots here are from the 1800s. The building is from the 1800s, so they look really, really cool inside and something that you don't see a lot of times. Now, a local art gallery that I really love and really enjoy is Blue Mountain and Soul. Definitely worth checking this spot out. We'll show you some footage of their gallery and just a really very unique, fun gallery where they have a lot of art featuring a lot of landmarks in Durango. And right behind me is Durangler's, a fly fishing company that I highly recommend stopping in or just giving them a call. As you probably heard me recommend them a lot of times in other videos. Something I want to throw out here as well is they have a great Instagram page. I recommend following their Instagram, especially if you want to know what the fishing report is like. So Andy here at Durangler's does a great job of getting out on the river most days and showing you what the report is like, what he's actually catching fish with that day, or just doing it from the shop and telling you what the fishing report is. They do a great job at putting on events too. They'll do casting clinics, they'll do fishing clinics for kids, they'll do all kinds of different stuff. So definitely worth stopping in there as well. All right, then right next to Durangler's is Eolus, one of the most fine dining experiences you can get in Durango. And I'm gonna read a little bit about them. Farm to table and vine to wine. They offer the finest menu selections from Southwest Colorado's farm, ranches, vineyards, and breweries. So they have a rooftop patio that presents premium views of the surrounding mountains. All right, so let's tell you a little bit about their menu. So they've got a couple items I'll read off. Scottish salmon as well as their pork chops are really good. One item that I really enjoyed getting was their burger with a lobster on it. Really, really good. That was a James Ranch beef burger. We talked about James Ranch a little bit earlier. Really great beef, locally raised here up in the Animus Valley north of town. So if you want more of a fine dining option, I definitely recommend checking them out. And then one thing I forgot to mention about Eolus is based on the Best of Durango contest for the best restaurants, best businesses in Durango, like I mentioned earlier, they were ranked first place best dining restaurant and first place best fine dining. So if you want to check out something that is the best fine dining voted by Durango residents, definitely check them out. All right, now behind me is El Moro. This is probably one of my favorite bars in downtown Durango, and I'm going to read a little bit from this magazine that they were featured in. So they embrace the town's Victorian heritage, reflects the town's history. Early 1900s, 945 Main Ave was the El Moro Saloon. Present day El Moro had some of the feel of the original saloon with bare red brick walls, tin ceilings, hardwood floors, heavy wooden tables. Menu can be described as modern rustic, and let's talk to you a little bit about some of their signature items. Harissa roasted ribs, if I'm saying that right, pork ribs, North African spiked beluga lentils, fire roasted corn, red bell peppers. And then to my point about them being the best bar, or my favorite bar, in Best of Durango, the contest I was just mentioning, they were ranked first place best bar / pub, as well as first place best bartender, and then second place best cocktails. So definitely worth checking out if you want to check out a really good bar and really cool atmosphere as well. Now, as you probably are well aware, Durango is really well known for its mountain biking, and right behind me is Mountain Bike Specialist. Mountain Bike Specialist is a spot that I'm going to really recommend as well. Out of all the mountain bike shops, everyone is really good. Nothing negative against any of them, but these guys are the guys that I would highlight out of everyone. They've given me really good service, gone above and beyond when I had issues with my bike or a lip to go. We had a trailer that we needed fixed for our kids. They did a phenomenal job. Definitely recommend those guys, as well as if you're thinking about renting an e-bike or buying an e-bike as well. I know behind me is a really cool, unique spot in Durango that is something that you don't see in a lot of other towns, in my opinion, just because it's so unique. So it's called Create Art and Tea. So it's a spot where artists can rent a space. They can sell their art here. There's about 25 different artists featured in this store. And then you can also come here and have tea. You can have high tea. You can come in and just get a tea to go, or you can just sit down and get a really good cup of tea. I just stopped in here, got a cup of tea the other day, was talking to the owner, and it's just a really cool spot. She was telling me that there was a dad and his daughter upstairs drinking tea and playing chess. You can just hang out there and play games, and so you don't need to just come in and shop and leave, or just come in and get tea and leave. There's just so many different things to do there, from shopping for art to getting a glass of tea, as well as high tea, bringing your friends in and have high tea as well. I know I can't do a tour of downtown Durango without telling you my absolute favorite ice cream spot in downtown Durango, which is Cream Bean Berry right here behind me. They are a really awesome spot. I personally love their vanilla. My wife likes their salted caramel, so check either one of those out. They've also got a lot of other great options. They've got some vegan options as well. All of it's made here in-house. And then they've also got a little kind of food truck spot over by Home Slice Pizza north of town. So they've got two locations. They do a phenomenal job. Check out their social media page too, really good social media, and amazing staff. I've had some great interactions with their staff. Can't recommend them enough. Definitely check out Cream Bean Berry if you want some amazing ice cream. All right, now we're right outside of the spot that I always recommend my clients to go to eat, either between showings or when they just arrived to Durango and they want to check out a good spot, is 11th Street Station. What I love about 11th Street Station is you've got an assortment of different food trucks. So I'm gonna look down at my notes here. They have this 1950s retro gas station decor, and I'm just going to list off a few of the different restaurants here. So you've got Ernie's Bar, you've got a rotating menu of draft beer, handcraft specialty cocktails, you've got extensive tequila. Then they've got our favorite, my wife and my favorite, is Backcountry Gourmet. So you've got gourmet sliders, delicious salads, homemade sides, and then you've got The Box, which has really, really good pizza. We enjoyed coming here with some friends and getting pizza quite often, probably a little bit too much. You've got Love and Juice, smoothie and juice bar. Really good smoothie and juice bar. I really recommend them as well. These guys were rated first place food truck and then second place for best fries. Let's tell you about a few more that are in here. Avalanche Bowls, assorted rice bowls, showcasing global cuisine. Cafe Amor, quality organic coffee and tea, serving pastries and breakfast items as well. And then you've got Uncle's Fixins. Just make sure to look them up on Google. They just actually changed locations, but I highly recommend them. They came here from Albuquerque, I want to say 1 or 2 years ago, and opened up their restaurant here, and they are really, really good. They also have some good ice cream bars that I really recommend. And then you've got the Cluck Stop, offering fried and grilled chicken sandwiches. So overall, I really love all of these places. I love the pizza, and I love Backcountry Gourmet are going to be my really 2 top recommendations. But the drinks here are good as well. And it's just a really fun atmosphere, fun place to hang out. Another thing that I find is if you see a lot of restaurants really busy, there's a 2-hour wait. You can come over here and usually you can get some food within 5 to 15 minutes or so. Durango. I now want to talk to you guys about the weather. So a few weeks ago, I posted a video where I compared mountain towns in Colorado to Durango and showed you that the Colorado average temps in January were among some of the highest averages over all of Colorado. So we'll actually put that up on the screen now just to kind of recap some of what we talked about in the video. And as you see, Denver, Grand Junction, there's only a few towns where it's equal or slightly higher than Durango. And of course, there's others out there that are a little bit higher than Durango, some suburbs of Denver, of course, some of that area around Denver. But when we're looking just comparing mountain towns, Durango does rank really high as far as just milder winters. We get about 260 inches average snowfall up in Purgatory Ski Resort, so you're still getting a great amount of snow where you want to go skiing. But then 39 minutes away from Purgatory, south of Purgatory in Durango, we're averaging about 65 inches per year. Now this winter is very different, as you can tell. Well, I'll turn around. As you can tell, there's basically no snow on the ground here, and we're almost at the end of January, but most winters we're getting about 65 inches. A couple winters ago we got way more, and it just varies, of course. But when you're talking about 15-minute radius from downtown Durango, in some directions a little bit less, you're averaging right about that much. And then as you get further away from Durango, you do get quite a bit more, especially if you're going about 10-12 minutes east or 10-12 minutes west of Durango. And then as you're going south of Durango, you're getting not necessarily less, but you're averaging about that same amount, 60 or less inches, 65 or less inches per year. Now, something else that I really want to emphasize and make you guys aware of is compared to any other most other areas, Durango, you can drive about 50 to 60 minutes south of Durango and you're in Farmington, New Mexico. And in Farmington, the temperatures average about 10 degrees warmer in the middle of winter. So your January average temps are about 10 degrees warmer. So you can go less than an hour drive, be mountain biking, hiking, be in a really cool climate, you know, a little bit more of a desert climate, but be in a much warmer environment than Durango in the middle of the winter. So that's one thing I really want to point out, make sure you guys are aware of, especially compared to a lot of other areas, a lot of other mountain towns. Now let's talk about the summer. We actually have some really nice summers. Something that I always try to tell clients, especially as they're looking at homes, is you'll see a lot of homes without air conditioning. And that's because our average is hitting right in the mid 80s in July, and then it starts cooling down. And before that, it's a little bit cooler as well in June and May. It's a little bit cooler than that. Compared to a lot of other mountain towns, we are a little bit warmer. We'll actually put those numbers up on the screen as well. Those numbers that we also shared with you a couple of videos ago where we talked about the other mountain towns. And so, you know, the summers are great. Again, as just kind of like in the winter, as you climb up in elevation, it gets cooler. So if we're talking about neighborhoods like Durango West, Durango Ridge Ranch, Edgemont, going east of town, some of these neighborhoods are going to be 2 to 3 degrees warm, or sorry, 2 to 3 degrees cooler in the summer. So it's a little bit, you know, it's not a massive amount cooler, but it does make a difference. And then as you go north of town near Purgatory, where of course it snows a lot more, it's also going to be quite a bit cooler, 5-6 degrees cooler or even more as you get closer to Purgatory. Now there's pros and cons with that. As you get up near Purgatory, home prices do climb quite a bit because people love that area. But again, reach out to me if you're considering some of these different areas, and I can hop on a Zoom call and really go over the differences of these areas particularly for what you're looking for. Then I had a friend considering areas like Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, and honestly, we're way warmer in the winter than a lot of those areas. And then in the summer, those areas are really nice in the summer, but a lot of these areas are just a lot flatter and don't have these towns that are right in the middle of the mountains like we do. Although they have some great mountain ranges, they are amazing. A lot of the state is a lot more flat than just our area in particular. Now, of course, if you go south of here, it does get a lot flatter, but if you want mountains right out your back door, Durango does compare a lot better, or it does should be up a little bit higher on your list compared to some of those areas. And now the next item on the list is the outdoors, the amazing opportunities we have outdoors here. And it's not just that, hey, we've got great fishing, we've got great biking, we've got great hiking, and I'm definitely going to dive into that a little bit, but I want to give a little bit different perspective than in some of the videos I've done in the past where I go through all of the different things we have outdoors. So I first want to start with the culture here is very different. It's really focused around the outdoors. Now, if you don't like, bombing down a black diamond on Purgatory Ski Resort, that's okay. If you just love getting out and skiing, maybe doing some cross-country skiing, doing a little bit of hiking or snowshoeing, this is still a great place for you. I want to kind of contrast this to places like Boulder or places where it's way more focused around one specific sport. There's not a lot, there are a lot of professional athletes here, but it's not like, hey, if you're not a pro, you're not in, or, you know, everybody does something outdoors, whether it's just hiking or going for a swim, going ice climbing. There's so many different things. And so I just want to emphasize that the focus around just kind of the culture of being outdoors is so big here. Then with that, another thing that my clients have really emphasized or really made me aware of is compared to areas they're moving from, like even Boulder or Denver areas or areas around Denver, where they've got to drive 10, 20 minutes even to find a parking spot and then go for their hike. Here, most neighborhoods, or a lot of neighborhoods, you can either walk right out your back door or bike to a spot that's 5-10 minutes away and be on a trail. So you're really surrounded by the mountains here in Durango. Even going south or east of town, you might be a 5 or 10 minute drive from a really amazing trail system. So I wanted to kind of emphasize that, then talk about just the 4-season playground we have. And what I mean by that, and you're probably already aware of this, we've got great snow, we've got a great fall season for four-wheeling and running on the trails in the fall. We have amazing leaves that change colors throughout the mountains. Then I want to dive into how we truly have a 4 seasons playground here in Durango and the surrounding areas. And what I mean by that is, again, kind of comparing and contrasting to other areas, other mountain towns, other states. We really have all 4 seasons as just an amazing playground, from being able to ice climb in the winter, skiing, cross-country skiing, a lot of great outdoor activities in the winter, to the fall and the spring are much better kind of shoulder seasons than a lot of other areas around the state or even around the country, where you have a lot more kind of harsher and quick, longer winters, and you've got maybe more rain in the fall than we do. So just comparing and contrasting, and just going back to what we're talking about with the weather, we just have a lot more mild weather, which lends itself to a lot longer just season for a lot of these sports. Just being able to get out and hike, or just being able to get out and go for a walk in the fall or even in the winter, is really amazing here compared to other areas. Now, we're also an amazing area for kids and families. Now, part of that is just that longer season. You know, I've got a 3 and 2-year-old, and it's just a lot easier to get them outside than if we're in a climate where it's just a lot colder. So I want to emphasize that, and then let that lead into, we've got a lot of great amenities for kids in general. Now, we'll dive into some of these in some other videos in the future, so make sure you guys subscribe to this. I'm planning a video all about why your kids want to move here, as well as some other videos centered around kids. But to just go over a few, we've got a great ice skating rink. We've got Chapman Hill, which is a nice small little ski hill right in town Durango, where they make snow. So if we're not getting a ton of snow like this year, they're making snow. And it's a great area for kids to go. We've got a lot of great areas to go sledding. We've got an indoor rec center with a really nice pool, as well as the other side of the pool is a really nice area for kids that are much younger. Really nice play area with a nice big slide. Then in the summer, they've got an area, a little splash pad outside as well. We've got a lot more things to do just outside, from a really great biking program to some really great programs with the high school and the middle school, as well as intramural soccer, among gymnastics, among a lot of other sports that you just wouldn't expect to have this good or this caliber of a program in a small town like Durango. Then we're really kind of the best of both worlds. And what I mean by that, and I'll get down to kind of specifics, is if you look at some of the neighborhoods that my clients have come out here and moved to, a lot of these neighborhoods they've chosen are in that kind of 10 to 20 minute range from downtown Durango. They're in the pines, they're in the forest, or they're on a little bit of a flat piece of land, but they have some good amount of trees and some nice views, and they're still 10, 15 minutes away from downtown Durango. So they've got a little bit of space, a little bit of breathing room, and yet they can still be on a trail within 5 to 10 minutes. They can be fishing on the Animus River within 10 minutes or so. So it's not necessarily right in their backyard, but they've got the views, they've got maybe a trail or two real close to them, and then a lot more trails within 10 minutes. So you really are very close to everything. And then right downtown Durango, you're only about 39 minutes from Purgatory Ski Resort. As you get up north, you get closer. So there's so many things where even the only area that you're really kind of detached from any amenities at all is going to be as you go further south, closer to the border. Anywhere else close as you get north, you're so close to so many different amenities. Now for this part of the video, instead of just kind of breezing over the general things we have to do, from fishing to biking to skiing, which you guys probably already know, and I've already mentioned that in this video, I'm going to give a little bit more specifics. So we're going to start with some lakes. So Vallecito Lake, we'll put on the screen the distance from downtown Durango to Vallecito Lake. Vallecito Lake is a great lake for ice fishing in the winter. It's also great for ice skating, as well as just fishing in general and boating in the summer. It's a really big lake up northeast of downtown Durango. Then you've got Anders Lake, which is north of town, up kind of on your way or a little bit past Purgatory Ski Resort. And this lake is really, really pretty. I absolutely love Anders Lake. It's fun to just go there for a picnic. And there's actually a picnic company that I saw out there when I was out there last, setting up a picnic, a private picnic for a family. And they've got bathrooms. They've got a really, really pretty lake. You can float tube on it. I don't think you can boat on it. I believe you can paddleboard, kayak, but not use any motorized boats, to my knowledge. Double check that first, of course. And really great fishing. They stock this lake, and then from this lake, there's some really amazing trails. Just a very, very pretty scenic area to visit. Then we've got a few other ski areas that you might not be aware of. So we've got Hesperus Ski Area, which is west of town. That's a 8280 base, summit 8880. So it is a very small ski area, only 60 acres, but a really cool area as well. And then you've got Purgatory Ski Resort, which is the area you're probably aware of, about 39 minutes north, give or take, depending on driving distance and where we're starting that point from, but about 40 minutes north of downtown Durango. About 260 inches of annual snowfall. Their acreage is 1360 acres, base is 8793, and their summit elevation is 10,822. They've got 6 terrain parks, 10 lifts, 99 trails. And then we've got Kendall Mountain Ski Resort, or Ski and Rec Area, over in Silverton, 9300 base, 9540 summit. Area 35 acres. Then you've got Silverton Mountain, which is base of 10,400, summit 1347. You've got Telluride Ski Resort, which you guys are probably all aware of Telluride if you like to ski. You've got Wolf Creek Ski Area, that's just east of Pagosa Springs. So a little bit, we'll actually put the distance up on the screen from downtown Durango to Wolf Creek. That's another big ski resort, really amazing skiing there. I personally really love Wolf Creek. And then you've got Monarch Mountain, and then you've got Crested Butte Mountain Resort as well. Of course, that's a further drive from Durango than most of these. Now, if you like fat tire biking, I want to give you a few areas to consider to just jot down if you like fat tire biking. So you've got Overland Mountain Park, you've got Skyline Trail, you've got Outback, which is up near Silverton. You've got Telluride Valley Floor, which is of course near Telluride, or in Telluride. You've got Bogey Draw, which is west of downtown Durango. You've got Durango Nordic Center. Durango Nordic Center is up north of downtown Durango near Purgatory Ski Resort. And then you've got Turkey Springs, which is located near Pagosa Springs. By the way, Overland and Skyline are in town Durango. And then we gave you Durango Nordic, which is north of town. So we kind of gave you a good, diverse selection of trails there. All right, now let's talk snowmobiling real quick. So we've got some really awesome options. We've got Barlow Creek, located approximately 8 miles from or north of Rico on Highway 145. So it is groomed from the Durango side from Purgatory over Bolam Pass. Keep in mind there's dog sledders and cross-country skiers that use this as well. You've got Bogey Draw. This is what I mentioned earlier. It's more than 30 miles of trails near Dolores. Then you've got Colorado Basin. So it's an ungroomed area recommended for more experienced riders and can be accessed north of Silverton on Highway 110B, passing Silverton Mountain Ski Area. Then you've got Falls Creek Trail. This trail is actually near Pagosa Springs. It's not the Falls Creek that is over in Durango. 6.5 miles long. You've got Lemon Dam. This is actually an area that I went out with my brother a couple of years ago. This is a really fun area. From Durango, you're going to take County Road 240 east to County Road 243. You're going to turn on County Road 243 to Forest Road 597, where parking is available. Hope that helps. Can be a little bit tricky to find, but there are some great maps online as well, so make sure to look into that. And another awesome one is going to be Missionary Ridge. This one is pretty close to downtown Durango. You're going to turn east on Trimble Lane to County Road 250, then turn north, continue north up Forest Road 682, which turns east. Another one is Mullis Pass, First Notch, Echo Basin. I mentioned Falls Creek Trail. So a lot of awesome options out here. I hope giving you those specifics helps. Hope I'm not boring you guys too much with that, but hopefully that helps some of you guys out there that really enjoy that. Then we've got sled or sleigh ride. So Bears Ranch, which is up north near Haviland Lake, north of town, on the way up to Purgatory Ski Resort. They offer old-fashioned carriage and sleigh rides. 45-minute tour gives you views of Haviland Lake as well as the surrounding San Juan Mountains. And Then there's also Durango Dog Ranch. They are in Hesperus. They run dog sled adventures for people of all ages, 2-hour tours, begin at one of 3 locations, and their costs kind of range from about $375 to $450 per sled. So those are really awesome options. There's some other options further away from town, such as Telluride sleigh and wagons. We've got Mountain Paws. Those guys are over in Pagosa as well. Then one of my absolute favorite things to do in the winter is ice climbing. So you've got the Ouray Ice Park, which is probably the most famous place in all of America to ice climb, or at least the lower 48, by what I've learned anyway. Ouray Ice Park is over in Ouray. We'll actually put on the screen the distance from downtown Durango to the Ouray Ice Park right now. It has more than 100 routes, 11 distinct climb areas with mix of low angle and steep terrains in a 1-mile span. Really pretty, really incredible area just to hang out and check out. Make sure to just go up there and check it out. If you're not into climbing, it's really a cool thing just to see. And you can even just park in the parking lot as you're getting into Ouray and just look over the edge and kind of see everybody climbing there. So it's not hard to get to, just easy to see on your way into Ouray. Few other options are Cascade Canyon, Treasure Falls, South Mineral Creek, and Bear Creek Falls. Cascade Canyon is just up past Purgatory Ski Resort, and some of these other options, just check them out, look these up. You can find a lot of these online as well. All right, let's talk about some options that might not get your heart rate up quite as much. I'm going to talk about some indoor options as well as the hot springs. Durango Hot Springs is absolutely incredible. We'll put up on the screen the distance from downtown Durango, but it's not far. It's in the Animus Valley, just north of town. Hot Springs, they just did about a $10 million renovation. They have a ton of different tubs to get in, different temperatures. They've got a couple ice baths as well, or I should say cold plunges. There's not ice in them, don't worry. But you've got a few other things we've got in town that are just kind of some fun hangout things, especially if you've got kids. We've got axe throwing, we've got bowling and arcades, and those are over in Ignacio, which is southeast of town, so they aren't right in Durango. We've got an indoor climbing gym, which is actually really new to Durango. We've got some great fitness classes as well. We've got Durango Martial Arts. They've got boxing, jiu-jitsu. They've got a lot of different stuff that they offer. So definitely check Durango Martial Arts out if you've considered doing martial arts at all. And then we've got pickleball, basketball, volleyball. We've got gymnastics, tons of different sports like I mentioned earlier as well. Let's actually go back and talk a little bit more about the indoor climbing gym. So I'll actually put on the screen the distance from downtown Durango to Gravity Lab, our indoor climbing gym, 732 County Road 233, and $20 for a day pass, $16 for children ages 4 to 17. They're open 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Friday, 9 to 8 Saturday and Sunday. There's also rock walls at the Community Rec Center, so I want to make sure you guys are aware of that. If you're getting rec center passes, that you can use those as well. And it's a really, really cool gym. They've got a lot of fitness equipment as well. They've got a full power rack. They've got dumbbells. They've got a lot of stuff if you just want to go and get a workout and do a little bit of climbing. There's some great options there as well. They've got rowers. I believe they have some spin bikes. Can't remember, but I know they have some rowing machines and just a really fun environment as well. You just want to go in and take a class or just check it out. It's really worth doing. My wife and I went there on a date the other day, and really a lot of fun, and we enjoyed ourselves a lot, and still really close to downtown Durango. Then another spot is Guild House Games. So they're a really cool game store in town. They're in the mall that's downtown Durango, but they're not just a game store. They also have a club that meets there and plays different games, plays chess, plays all kinds of different games there. So something else worth checking out, especially in the winter. And if you really enjoy that kind of thing, if you really enjoy games, I've been told by a friend that he really enjoys going to the club that they have there. Now, a lot of my clients ask me about things like, what do you have to do regarding theaters, concerts, things that we find in bigger cities, and they might be a little bit worried that we're not gonna have that in Durango. So let's talk about that a little bit. Fortunately, we have places like Fort Lewis College that offers a lot of these things, and they bring in some amazing bands from all over the world, really. I recently went to a Celtic festival that I really enjoyed. It was really phenomenal music, and so that's one of the things and those guys came from Ireland, if I'm not mistaken. So let's just dive into a few venues that we have. So we've got Animus City Theater. They're over on East College Drive. The venue holds 270 people. The venue has a large dance floor, accommodates different types of live events such as concerts, film festivals, and much more. And then you've got Community Concert Hall at Fort Lewis College, which I just mentioned. They seat 600 people, year-round musicals, concerts, and conferences. For an up-to-date schedule, you can go online, of course. And then you've got Durango Art Center, over on East 2nd Ave, 802 East 2nd Ave. You've got Farmington Civic Center, which is of course in Farmington. You've got Henderson Fine Arts Center over in Farmington. To jump back to Durango, you've got Merle Players, nonprofit theater company, provides high quality performance theater. And then jumping over to Pagosa, you've got Pagosa Springs Center for the Arts. They've got jazz festivals, drama, musical, choral concerts. You've got children's theater camps and art gallery exhibits, and it seats over 200 people there. So I think we do really have a lot of great options. Of course, we are a smaller town, but I think we do have a lot of great options there for you as well. Now, I promised you guys I would talk about community and community events. So I'm actually gonna just look down at my list here and read off a lot of different just names of events that we've had just through the month of December. Now, this is the previous year that I'm looking down at, but just wanna have a general list just so you have kind of a feel of what Durango has to offer as far as community events. So we're just kind of listing through December. Christmas art fair, we had a bazaar, we had live music by the Blue Moon Ramblers. We had wreath making. We had Durango Chamber Business After Hours, just kind of a networking get together. Four Corners vendor event, free community event featuring entertainment, food trucks, local shopping. We had Alice in Wonderland, Holiday Holler, a pop-up caroling event. Then we had Four Corners vendor event again, Gingerbread Lodge. This one's a really cool one where everybody does a gingerbread making contest. A friend of mine of ours actually won that this last year. We got Cookies and Cocoa with Santa. You've got Sip and Create Fused Glass Happy Hour, which is again right downtown, $40 to $60, includes materials. You've got Veterans Benefit Breakfast, Indoor Farmers Market. You've got Open Mic Night over at Esotero. You've got Bardi Wranglers Christmas Jubilee, which is a really cool event. Bardi Wranglers are really worth looking into and checking them out as well. We've got Solstice Bonfire, Santa and Mrs. Claus Visit the Mountain over at Purgatory Resort, which is a free event. We've got the Nutcracker Magical Christmas Ballet. So I don't want to go on and on, but just wanted to give you kind of a list of some of the things that we have going on in Durango. And just to say that we've got a lot of different events, a lot of things going on. It's not like you're moving to a town with 2,000-3,000 people, like some of the bordering towns around us. And not to say you shouldn't consider some of those areas, because I think those are amazing areas. But if you're really wanting to make sure that there's some great events and just things to do and get out and enjoy, I think Durango is still going to be a great option, unless you really want those huge concerts, those A-list celebrity type concerts, if you will, that you're going to see more in Durango, maybe Albuquerque, Vegas, Phoenix. You know, you're not going to have those huge concerts, but you are going to get a lot of good community events here, a lot of good theater and play and concerts as well, partly because of the college and just the population is a little bit bigger here, so we're able to bring in more musicians and people like that. Now guys, if you've been thinking about moving to Durango, Colorado, give me a call, text, email, days, nights, weekends. Licensed realtor here in Durango, Colorado, as well as all of Colorado, and would love to help you with any of your real estate needs. Now, more than just helping you buy a home, I'd love to make this just an amazing all-around experience for you, and that's really my goal, from start to finish, getting on a call with you, just walking through your criteria, really showing you the pros and cons of what you're specifically looking at, and really trying to point out things that you might not be seeing, such as steeper driveways, the amount of snow a specific area might get, maybe the distance to town in the winter when it's maybe more icy, what those roads might look like. Would love to just point all those variables out to you so that you're aware and don't have any blind spots in what you're looking at. Again, just reach out. And by the way, guys, if you like these videos, please hit that like button. Please subscribe so you can check out the future videos and YouTube suggests those future videos to you. Looking forward to connecting with you guys soon. I'll see you later.